Hey everybody, it's Gerard Braud, and guess what? I dare you. Welcome to this edition of the Broadcast, where we give you bite-sized bits of best practices to help you be a better leader and a more effective communicator. Today, we're going to talk about the 5 steps to effective crisis communications, and I'm giving you a 5-part video series, and I am daring you. I'm going to dare you to watch all 5 parts and then dare you to do just one. See, too many people look at the holistic, the totality of effective crisis communications, and it feels overwhelming. So I've broken them down into the 5 steps that you can accomplish, but you can start by doing just one. Why? Well, you asked for it. Often when I'm giving a keynote presentation, I get off stage and you ask me lots of questions. When I'm on stage, I only have a certain amount of time to go through the 5 steps. So I created a deep dive. We're going to give you about 10 minutes of video in each of these 5 steps. That's 15 minutes of content. That's like going to a whole webinar. And it's going to help you set up your own process. Let me show you what you're going to get here. First of all, we're going to look at the 5 steps of effective crisis communications so that you can start planning. And step 1 is going to be how to conduct a vulnerability assessment. That's step 1. I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can do that. Next, we're going to talk about crisis communications plans. And as many of you know, I'm a bit of a contrarian when it comes to crisis communications plans. I'm a bit of a maverick. We're going to talk about why so many organizations have this same 6-page document that says crisis communications plan on it right there that they copy off the internet, and why it's not worth the paper it's written on. And in contrast, we'll talk about the type of plan that I like, a type of plan that is more robust, and a plan that you can read in real time, follow the instructions, and accomplish the goals perfectly every time by reading and following along. And a big part of what's in here is what we're going to cover in step 3, pre-written news releases. We'll talk about why in every one of the plans I write, I include at least 100 pre-written news releases. We're going to talk about 2 types of news releases. First is the first critical statement. Guess what? You're going to get one for free. That's right. When you get to step 3, I will give you my template for the first critical statement. And then we're going to talk about those 100 pre-written news releases that make all the difference in the world and has really revolutionized how I do crisis communications and how you can revolutionize your crisis communications. Step 4 is media training. I'm going to be a contrarian here as well and debunk the myths that you've been taught by bad media trainers who teach you to spin and not cover all of the information that needs to be covered. We're going to change that once and for all. Step 5 is how to do a crisis communications drill that is realistic, that has fake news conferences in it, that has fake social media attached to it, that has misdirection, that is so serious, yet so much fun, so realistic that sometimes people cry because it's too realistic. Those are the 5 steps we're going to cover. And if you cover those steps, we're limited time only. I'm going to give you 15 minutes of phone conversation, confidential phone call with me. I will even give you a non-disclosure or confidentiality agreement so you can talk about real crises with me, or we will talk about the challenges you face as you try to navigate through the crisis communication steps and often the roadblocks that you face with your leadership who would rather do nothing rather than be prepared. How do you get these? You go to my website, braudcommunications.com. It's B-R-A-U-D communications.com. When you get there, you're going to find my website. Bear with me as I navigate through here and share screens with you. Let me show you what the website looks like. Here is the website. You're going to scroll down to the bottom of that website, and down here, you're going to find the sign up link where you get 5 steps to effective crisis communications. How's that? So, to recap, I dare you to watch a video, 5-part series, and when it's all over with, do one thing. Take one of those 5 steps toward effective crisis communications and see what a difference it makes, and see how to keep from being overwhelmed by the big process and how to start by taking that first step. This is Gerard Braud. I'm looking forward to talking to you after you watch the series. Take care.